Welcome, guys. Welcome back to the Pete Podcast, where we discuss the latest in REI tech, trends, and inspiration. My name's MJ. I'm going to be your host, and I'm so excited to welcome Jeff Henry from InnoStack with us today. So thank you, Jeff. Thanks for being here. How are you?
Excited to be here.
You excited to geek out and talk tech for a little while?
Absolutely. I always said I'm a cool nerd. So yeah, definitely do that.
There you go. There you go. All right. Well, if I had glasses, I'd push them up on my nose and we'll just get cracking. So InnoStack provides, for those of you who don't know, full stack tech solutions to a variety of different sized businesses. So, the first thing I want to ask Jeff is, tell us a little bit about what you guys do, but also how did you get here? What was the journey? Where'd you start to where you are right now?
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess I'll start on the journey part. I really just started back when I started tech, right? Got involved into technology from my father. He worked for AT&T and IBM for many years, over 30 plus years. And he introduced me to tech. Actually, one of my first jobs was installing data networks across Texas when I was like 18 years old.
Wow.
Which was really cool. And then he got me into working for some other companies, which I was doing some homeland security work for some companies. And it's kind of started that technology journey for me. A lot of my jobs were in corporate America. And in corporate America, I was really focused on tech development as well as business analysts, going into Excel databases and, managing Excel. And so I kind of did that for many years at several different Fortune 500 companies like Chase, PricewaterhouseCoopers, Aetna, Humana, a lot of different companies. And then I realized I love tech so much, so I wanted to expand it a little bit more. And then I got introduced to real estate. I don't know how I started this journey, and my wife was like, "Hey, we should learn real estate." We did a course, just like everybody heard it on my heard commercials, and I went to the seminar. I was like, "Okay, what is this real estate about?" And it wasn't even about wholesaling. It was really just about how can you find properties on the MLS. And my wife did it. And next thing I know, we burned $40,000. Didn't learn nothing. Great. And
after all of that, yep.
Right. We found a mentor right after that. And that's what really took us to that next level. And then we closed our first deal. It took us about 2 years to close our first wholesale deal. And we really loved it. But I'm such a techie. My wife's a techie. So we were like, how can we improve this, right? How can we make this better? So I was building all the systems, building the CRM, and building all the tools out just to streamline our process and make sure we close a lot more deals. And we did, right? So we started something very special at that point. And then what I started doing is I started building out CRMs for people. So a lot of students were coming up to me saying, "Hey man, I love your CRM. How can you build mine out?" And next thing I know, I'm building CRMs for a lot of people in the real estate industry. And I started selling my own CRM that was pre-built. And then that's created my SaaS subscription. And that's when I realized, okay, I have something in the tech space as well as real estate. And so I
something that's special and it's unique to you, it sounds like. So
to me, and also my passion, right? So I have a passion in tech, right? And so it felt very comfortable. I can stand in front of a computer and build and write code all day. And now you think about like, man, it's dark great, right? So since my wife has to pull me out,
like, I haven't eaten. It's been 3 days. Your wife's like, "Where are you, Jeff?" You're like, "I'm coding. I'm in my happy place right now." Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's kind of how the journey started. I created a company called Real Tech Automations. I was really a consultant for a lot of companies in real estate. He'll hire me to go through their CRM, see where things weren't working, right? Where they had leaky buckets. I'll go in there, analyze everything, and then build out automations, build out the tech, make sure we improve the process. Just, create some efficiencies where their CRM had needed, right? So I was a consultant for many years doing that under my company, Real Tech Automations. And then 2 years ago, I decided to rebrand, and this is how InnoStack came to fruition, right? It's basically, I took my innovative ideas of being a visionary, and always coming up with some innovative ideas. And then I realized that, I wanted to duplicate myself, right? It's like, okay, I can be a CTO for a lot of these companies, but it can't just be me. I was like running spread thin.
How do you scale? Yeah.
And so I was like, this can't just be me. So I built an entire team underneath me that was fully trained. And I started, that's how it started, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hires. Now we're up to 12 different developers that are scaled in all different types of programming language, versatile in all different types of CRMs. Our main CRM that we're focused on is GoHighLevel, but we do have Salesforce as well, and Infusionsoft, which was also known as Keep, right? HubSpot, but I can tell you probably 90% of our clientele is moving towards GHL. So we've been doing a lot of GHL migrations and integrations with that. So that's how InnoStack came, right? So we took innovative stack solutions together and we created InnoStack.
Yeah, no, that's wonderful. And thanks for sharing that. I mean, did you, and forgive me if I missed this, but did you have a background? Did you study, some type of IT or, like software dev or, or is this just was this a total passion project or a hobby?
Yeah, great question. I did go to school for tech. I also played basketball in college and high school, but any type of computer science and coding, I took those in college. But I can tell you that majority of my skill sets came from corporate America, and just me being kind of a hands-on type of person. And I obviously YouTube University. I learned a lot just from talking to people, learning and reading. Coding for Dummies. I read like every type of book that you could think of for coding for dummies, and different language. PHP. When Apple first came out, I created my first iPhone app, and I learned their language.
Hey,
It's Apple. And so it just was something that I was driven to, and I could say most of it came from being street smart rather than book smart. And it's just being hands-on and learning and building as I learned. So,
yeah, and it sounds like it's not just being hands-on, but if this is really truly a passion, right, and you enjoy tech, it doesn't feel like work. It doesn't feel so hard to read those books and study the things that you like. Be in the space that you want to be in. You're putting yourself in those spaces, right? So that's exciting. I do. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, it's like I look at my daughter and she's excited about either gymnastics or playing video games, and I'm like, that's right. I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to get on a computer and finish this client's project or this they're building something. I'm taking their vision and turning it to reality, and I can't wait to see it happen. Right, so that's exciting.
Yeah. 100%. Well, I was going to say I have a daughter as well. I don't know how old yours is. Mine is still tiny. She's 2 going on 3. How about yours?
She's 12.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say we talk. So my husband is a UI UX designer, and his passion is tech as well. And we talk all the time about what's the minimum age for her to join like Coding Academy or some of these really cool organizations that are getting kids interested in tech at a younger starting point to then kind of give them some of these tools. But I think she'll probably go to breakdancing and soccer first. So we'll see. Tech might take a little bit of a backseat.
Yeah, I'm going to just her class yesterday, and out of her classes, she had 3 electives that was around coding and tech, and she said no to all.
Okay.
and wanted to just do art. So I said, okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's still lovely. That's great. That's great. Well, and another thing you mentioned. So you said your wife is also really into tech, and is that how is that in terms of just the synergy that's created? I imagine versus working in a completely different vertical or industry, you probably have common things to talk about at the dinner table. Do you guys ever battle over tech? Do you ever, you know?
Sometimes, well, she's more, I'm a more of that front end guy, like your husband, right? So I build a lot of the front end stuff.
Okay.
The UI, the UX, I'm that kind of guy, right? So I'm building not all the front end work. Obviously, I know the data side of things, the structure, the tables. She comes into play because she's the back end girl. She focused on that,
Okay.
really making sure that. So she's a SQL database administrator, right? So she focuses on how the tables are structured, how it can run efficient, how to make it a normalized table, and things like that. So we do talk about a lot. Like, for instance, I'm building an app right now. During the dinner table, she's like, "Well, how's the app going?" I'm like, "It's going good, but I had a lot of bugs." And, so I had to restructure how things happen. And she's like, "Well, I told you from the beginning to make it a normalized table and to add like the IDs on one side and here." I'm like, so I do get a lot from her and I learn from her too. So
Yeah. But it sounds like it just adds to the natural progression of any long-term committed partnership where the women are right, and there's a whole lot of I told you. Well, you can tell her I said that.
love that.
No, that's stellar. I mean, it's nice if it's a passion for both you guys and you're able to kind of share that from different angles that's really I think that's really beautiful. And it's nice to have someone, let alone your best friend, to be able to talk to about all that. So, well, what are you guys seeing like from InnoStack's like from your seat, what are you guys seeing as some like trends that are happening in tech, whether it's, in the real estate space or elsewhere? Like, is there anything that you think is of note that you've been kind of like, whoa, that's interesting or that's wild, Curious to hear.
I would say for right now, what's InnoStack and our company is really focused on is obviously AI is everything, right? Everybody's talking about AI.
Yeah.
See it all over. And with our clients is more of like, one is securities, right? How can we make sure that their system, their CRMs, or their company is overall secured, right? So we do a lot of that data protection.
Yeah. 100%.
But the other side of things is, how can we take their knowledge and build out, language models? We build out AI systems for them. How we improve different tools that they're doing and it's, build some efficiency. So if they do have certain employees that they might have been on the fence of leaving or whatever, I look at their jobs and what they can do and say, hey, we can actually improve their jobs.
Yeah.
Or we can do something that can, almost eliminate something.
Yeah. Replace or similar.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're really focused on right now. And with all the AI that's happening with the text, the voice, videos, we're improving marketing strategies. We're improving the abilities to create. And I just had a meeting today with one of our clients, and created a new lead magnet, right? And cool for them, right? They're a real estate education company, and then they need to that they can push out, right? So it's very simple now to create tools very quickly, and then we can spit it out, really quick for them.
Yeah. And it's neat because you guys are coming in providing these solutions. But I know one thing that's really key and different to what InnoStack offers is that you don't really believe in the one solution fits all, right? And I think that's really wonderful because essentially even, lookalike businesses have their own DNA. and to really like understand why you would partner with a certain vendor or business or use their services, to be treated with that kind of care, that kind of, I think, like personalized attention to detail about what matters to them and how they're running their business and what they're trying to achieve is vastly important, right? And it's lacking. And, you know, sadly, that's kind of the direction you move with all these AI and generative tools, is that they're aggregating all this data, but then you lose this, right?
Lose this, yes.
Yeah. So, and that's something, it is neat to hear you talk about it, Jeff, because, you know, like over at Pete, you know, yeah, AI is the name of the game. We are, you know, introducing a number of different features this year, right? Like whether it's like agent speed to lead or, you know, inbound, outbound voice agents. Um, and that's all wonderful. And also at the end of the day, kind of the level of care and customer support that you offer and how you do that. You can't really change that, right? You can increase it with speed and efficiency. Um, but it is really important to kind of retain your DNA, right?
Yeah,
And like
and that's
those businesses. So
yeah.
yeah, that's great. What was that? Sorry.
Saying that's core to us, right? Is maintaining that DNA. And that's why we do our weekly sprint calls,
Mhm.
weekly meetings with our clients, right? And learning exactly about their business, because we're on a growth together, right? And that's why we call it a partnership. We're not just, hire tech off a freelancer or Upwork or Fiverr, right? We're embedded in your company, and we're on the journey and ride, with you. So that's our goal.
Yeah, that's one thing, honestly, like we really, really appreciate about you guys. We've worked with InnoStack, and just the level of, I mean, when you feel warmth and you feel taken care of with the way, you know, someone emails you, like that's saying a lot. That's saying a lot, right? Not even when you're on a call, on a Zoom, in a meeting, you know, but really just the level of support you guys give. It's really truly something to be proud of, and I think that DNA uh really like shines through, you know, even, and like all of it, it's the sum of all these small aggregate moments, right, that build a company and an ecosystem. So I got to say, you know, props to what you've built and are building, and it, you know, trickles down even to, you know, the developers that we speak with, or, you know, hey, we're checking in on this one little thing. So it's not an easy thing to kind of coach. I know you can kind of hire around that, but to cultivate it and sustain it is another thing. So it's exciting, you know. And I'd say, like, Jeff, what are you guys excited about? What are you looking forward to, you know, this year, next year? For you specifically, are you, you know, looking to grow in some other industries? Tell us kind of what's going on in your world.
Yeah, that's a great question. So we are growing and scaling. And I would say we're not trying to grow and scale fast, right? It's because, to me, our clients mean everything. So I don't want to take attention away from, what we're doing with our clients just to make more money, right? It's not about that. We want to grow with people. So I'm very careful on, what clients we do bring on. Our goal is to move into other industries outside of real estate. We just signed our newest client today, and they run an entire tax firm, right? So they're completely
Okay.
vertical than what we're used to, which is really, really cool, because we're excited to be a part of that, because their goal is to eventually push this into other avenues. So we a lot of everything aligned with us, so which is really, really awesome. But yeah, that is kind
That's
of.
great. Congratulations.
Thank
It's always exciting as you branch out. So that's that is a big deal. Yeah, congrats, man.
thank you.
Huge to hear, you know. I won't tell the other investors. I don't think we'll hurt. We got enough of them. So it's okay. We could share you guys, I guess. It's fine.
I appreciate.
I'll,
That's pretty much the goal, is just scaling, right? Hiring more talented individuals, more project managers that are focused around tech, because that's the key to our business, is really, really good project managers that understands tech. We have a great COO. Obviously, you know him, Denny. Um, Byron is going to
yeah,
be.
Danny's the man.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Byron is going to be the person that's going to be running he's going to be, most likely promoted to run our entire project management team. So we're creating more in the organization where we're trying to create levels of different junior PMs as well as junior tech specialists, and then senior PM, the senior tech specialist. So we're kind of growing into those senior roles. So that's the vision and goal. I'll see the next 3 years. So we're looking to grow and get bigger contracts with some big organizations to run their entire tech departments.
No, that's great. Yeah, we're looking forward to seeing all that growth. And I hate to break it to you, Jeff, but you just said on the podcast that Byron is most likely going to be promoted. So now, like, there's people that are going to view this. So it's like a done deal. I'm just going to say congrats, Byron. You don't know it yet, but it's coming. Something is coming your way. But you have to now. So no, that is exciting. And like from you've had quite a journey in where you started to where InnoStack is today. Is there any advice you'd give to advice or even lessons you've picked up along the way, to folks who are either in the tech space or even looking for tech services? Is there anything you wish someone had told you 10 years ago, right? Like, you could take some time. That I like to kind of, pick apart the DNA of, well, what got you here? What do you wish you had known? And that could have been a time saver,
Great question.
I think for me is, even when I come into tech for other people, most people don't know what they don't know. And there was a lot of times when I talk to companies, they're either working through Excel or they're doing something, their crazy amount of sales are coming in, they're making a lot of money. And sometimes, how things are operating, or where, are they losing money? Are they gaining money? Or are they breaking even? Or they're losing leads, things like that. So I always tell people, like, if you can learn tech is something that's always going to be there, right? Companies are always going to need tech. Obviously, tech is very fast moving, so you're always going to constantly learn something new every day. So continually educate yourself about tech. But what's really cool about it is that you can come into a company and then look at exactly what they have and see very clear that, okay, you guys are making money, but you guys could make a whole lot more money if we can just take your foundation, build it really strong, and now we'll improve your processes, right? So that's the kind of stuff that we look at, we tear down and we rebuild stronger, right? And sometimes that process might take a little bit longer, right? It could take some time, right? We might look at a CRM and say, hey, we have to scratch that entire CRM because you have dirty data. You have a lot of leads that you're not even talking to. A lot of your automations are broken. There's a lot of things that need to be fixed. Instead of us just trying to repair this, we might just have to replace it, right? And we're going to go around, do this journey with you. So, for me, that's what I would give advice to. If you're going to learn tech, this is a great avenue, great field. If someone told me something before, would be to probably put more. Obviously, I'm happy that I got into real estate because real estate got me to all the connections and everybody I've learned and met and all part of the masterminds I've been. Yeah. But I wish I'd probably focused more on the tech in the beginning of the real estate and kind of pieced it together, because I think we could have been somewhere different with InnoStack right now. And if you're not learning AI, I would tell you, learn it, Inverse in it, because it is changing and it's changing so fast. Every day there's something new happening in AI. And if you're not using it in your business, probably going to be lost, because there's companies that are using it right now. I don't care if it's, looking at your entire data structure and building out reports. AI is so smart right now. We can build machine learning AI that will look at the database and make educated decisions on a lot of things you're doing. So definitely utilize it.
Yeah. No, yeah, I think those are all valuable insights. I mean, there's at the end of the day, tech can be intimidating. That's something that, we come up against a lot here at Pete, is that, and we're an all-in-one, all your REI tools are in one place under one umbrella, one house. That's what we offer, right? Like a way to streamline, for investors, their operations and scale with automations, all of that. But tech, ultimately, it can be really kind of scary to folks who aren't familiar with it, because like you said, when we started talking, coding, it's a language. AI, it's a language. And the language, just like all languages, is evolving, but tech evolves at such a rapid speed. It can really, leave people feeling kind of lesser than, or like, hey, I don't understand this. I don't know how I'm going to. And I think it's really valuable to then know who your resources are, right? To then turn to, whether it's a mentor or, a certain publication or a certain blog or a certain, tech guru, to kind of say, hey, I trust these folks, whether it's Instastack or Pete or, whoever it might be in your space, to kind of lead me, right? And maybe do that learning, because I'm running my business or I'm doing all these other things. So it is really valuable to have, those trusted folks in your corner, so that you can kind of follow their insights. And
if it's just advice, 100%, even if it's just advice, because tech could be scary, right? To a lot of people, especially if you're not inside of tech on a daily basis, and you're just like, man, just being in the CRM sometimes, or switching to something might scare you, right? Yeah. So just having someone on speed dial, obviously a lot of people call me or message me and say, hey, Jeff, what do you think about this? Right. My honest feedback, right? Even though we're stuck in one CRM, like we're focused on one CRM in GHL, I'll tell you right now, if there's something that's better fit for your business, rather than sticking to one solution, because everybody's business is completely different, right? And so I know a lot about tech, but I want to know, what about your business and how you operate, so I can tell you if it's right or wrong for you. Which I think having those outlets and those different places to find that information is really valuable. I used, a lot of different avenues like Reddit, things like that, but having those outlets and focus on, who you want to follow to get information from is going to be key.
Yeah. Is there anyone, just on that, on that topic, are there any folks that you would say, hey, this is someone worth kind of like following and seeing, just to read up on their perspective and hear what their thoughts are on tech trends? If there is someone that comes to mind, cool. If not, no biggie. But
off the top of my head, obviously you could follow me on Instagram, but Tech Mogul, TEK Mogul. Okay. But yeah, I mean, I'll give you all that later. But yeah.
Yeah, well, I think for our followers and our audience, I think Jeff is the guy to follow. So that was a trick question you semi-passed, and we'll take it. Well, I think that's what we have time for today. So I just want to say, thank you, Jeff. This was it was really special to get to sit down and spend some time with you and hear about the exciting things you guys are doing. For those of you who are listening, if you need any sort of tech solution, I would say reach out to Jeff and his team at Instastack. They are really easy to chat with, and they really care not just about providing solutions, but providing the right solutions for your business, which is what sets them apart. And, if you're an investor and you need something CRM-wise, you know where to find us. So that's a wrap, and we appreciate your time, guys. Thank you, Jeff.
Absolutely. Take care.
You too.